going up in 3, 2, 1. Hey, watch out, guys. We're back. And I know you've missed us. I know you've been sitting there saying, where's the dusty Auspex? How come they haven't been on? Well, I haven't been on. You guys were on last week. No, last week we missed one. Last week was right. So you know what? It's been inconsistent. And for that, I'd like to
apologize. However, things are back on track.
Yep, we're back.
Rory back in the saddle here.
They're honestly
Dusty Auspex above.
How nice these chairs are now.
Yeah, we should shout out where we're at. Right?
Yeah,
So we are at PvP Cyber Lounge on Pellet Highway. A little bit past the U of M. Super nice venue.
It's in a basement.
You got a LAN center, billiards, VR. They got consoles.
I'm thoroughly impressed with this place.
Very good cocktails.
The bartender behind the bar right now is a mixologist genius. Like this is like I consider myself a Caesar connoisseur, and this Caesar is unbelievably amazing. Like I mean,
Well, that's good.
Well, he does like this little horseradish like pre-mix thing, and it takes like 5 minutes, but it's totally worth it, man. This is pardon me while I enjoy a little.
So what have you been up to these last 2 weeks?
Well, Dan, I've been working for a boss who doesn't appreciate me.
Oh,
So that's been kind of a bummer. Otherwise, I've been painting some Road Trader stuff.
Yeah.
So that list is pretty much good to go.
You get all the Marines done and everything?
No, I have 5 Marines done. But I mean, the list only has, I want to say like 20 of them at most. Probably not even that many.
I got a lot of points in Land Raiders.
3 Land Raiders, a Predator Annihilator.
And these are all Rogue Trader era models.
Yeah,
are they not?
well, the Predator's second-ed,
Okay.
but it's the full metal second-ed Predator. It still has the same aesthetic, so I let it go. Plus, it was given to me in exchange for painting some terrain, which I feel like is never going to come. So I was like, sure, man, 100%. I got some rhinos too. They didn't really make it in. The Land Raiders are kind of the focal point for me.
Right.
So I got 3 of them, all last cannon Predator, 4 last cannon devs with a sergeant with a power fist, and then a squad of 10 with a rocket launcher, and then a squad of 5. Just gonna pad it out.
Right.
So it's not a super model heavy list.
Yeah, and have you used it yet at all? Like,
No.
I
I did go to reset, which would have been a great opportunity, but I slept in until 8 o'clock. So that's afterward. I do get up rather early.
Yeah, well, we're going to be playing some games tomorrow down at Hidden Scene Comics.
No way.
So that'll be an interesting place. I don't really remember the address there.
It's on Watt
Street, yeah.
714 Watt.
714 Watt
Watt
Street. Thank you, producer Josh.
We do
So Hidden City Comics is a wicked place. You've probably heard us talking about it. You saw the 8th edition drop. We were there.
I saw it
Doing it
physically
live.
hit the ground.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah, and I hit my face right on the cement.
I'm kind of angelic right now.
I've got a bit of a glow.
Or I'm dead. I might be dead. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. Even from the grave, I still serve.
So there are some interesting things coming out from GDAP.
You shut your mouth.
Some things have
Shut
already come out.
Shut up, Dan.
Decent ones.
I can't take it. I can't take the things
Talking
you're saying are too
Codex
much.
Space Marines.
Bullshit.
The Redemptor Dreadnought, the Primaris Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And then also the Reavers, and something I can't remember, the
Intercessors.
Well,
Yeah,
there's also the Captain. There's also
honestly, there's a theme to what you're saying right now. It's all the Primaris Marine stuff. There is so much Imperial shit.
I know. Well, you know what though? It's because
we are swimming in human beings.
they sell the most. Space Marines sell the most, regardless.
Do they sell the most because they sell the most, or do they sell the most because they make them sell the most?
You know what? It could be. I think it's the hero effect where everyone's like, "Oh, these guys are wicked. Oh,
It's
they save the day."
I do love a Space Marine. I don't. I mean, whatever. We'll get to that later. But
Yeah, I mean, well, we got a healthy line of Xenos and Chaos running through a blood, but yeah, of course, with the new edition, they're going to be the first things that are going to be in a book. They're going to be the Space Marines.
Yeah.
Also, they're trying to really push these Primaris things. You can pre-order the Hover Tank now. I can't remember the name of them. You can pre-order the Chaplain. You can pre-order the Medic. Like,
and they are crazy expensive, dude.
Yeah.
Like this might be the Aussie prices. I haven't really checked the Canadian ones. but I mean, I saw somebody post something. Maybe it was New Zealand. They were like $74 each.
Yeah, that's definitely Australia, New Zealand.
Whoa.
It's probably more like 50 or 45. I'm sorry we haven't confirmed the prices
That
here.
doesn't make it.
We don't have
better.
internet access beyond. Well, I don't. I get my data cap.
Yeah, that's like
story short.
Like if you're working for minimum wage, that's half a day. That's half a day of work.
It's a lot of work to get that.
So you gotta shovel some shit.
You know what? I'm not really against Primaris. Like I don't think it's worth. They're wicked looking models. They're different.
They're wicked
like,
cool, buddy.
Building.
There's some of them that look like they're sitting like taking a dump. Like I don't know. Like there was a leak with the dual plasma guys with like the like fishbowl helmet that honestly looked like they're like somebody made a meme of them going down a water slide and here's this in the pants. Feel free to casually look up what
I'm gonna pull up these prices here.
Either way though, I mean, I understand GW is a company that needs to make money. And this is something that is, every time I complain about the price of screen, Rory, they're a company.
So, on the plus, this is from,
Hit me with
is this the Canadian site? Let's make sure. Yes, so, for new releases, you can get the easy to build Primaris intercessors, which are $20 for 3 of them. Okay, which isn't bad. Same thing for easy to build plug grains.
Yeah.
There's also easy to build reavers for $20.
Yeah, and that was like their preliminary release, right? Like, I mean, if everyone was curious when they were showing them the codex and squads of 5, well, here's 3. I mean, under strength units.
Well, the threes are a new release because certain box sets that they put out, things like that, that have those models. Like, the internet's just not working there. We're looking at the same page.
There's too many computers.
Well, not much I can do.
There's a wall. There's a literal wall.
The pricing's not bad in Canada, though. So
no, I know.
The heroes are going to be expensive.
The heroes are what I'm talking about. I mean, like the squads are one thing, but I mean, when you're paying like I mean, it's a nice model, and I mean, I guess if it were like now they're big, right? So you have no problem. Well, I don't think you have no problem, but you're gonna buy a Storm Surge or something that you realize is gonna be boo bucks, right?
If you
this is a one Space Marine though, like
this is that's true, and the fact that you can get 3 of the Reavers or the Intercessors for $20 is like.
But then they're taller.
Now, 40 Below Gaming is having a Primaris Marine painting contest.
Shut your butt.
Sign up for that?
No.
Okay, well.
I thought it was just like the only time I saw it was that everyone was like, "You want to do this?" And I was in my basement.
So
it's painting 80s Marines.
The trick is you got to go to the event page, which you can find on 40 Below Gaming.
I missed my chance. And
I don't think so. I think it's for the end of August when it'll be judged.
I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Essentially, oh Josh, you're slipping there. Essentially,
spit it out. You join the
podcast. Well, things are happening. You comment that you want to join it, and then 40 Below Gaming will assign you a mandatory color, a band color, like one that you can use for everything, and then a name for the faction.
So they want the man wants to put you in a box.
Yeah, that's us.
No, bro.
What yeah, that's how the contest works. You paint up one Primaris Marine, and then come time there will be a judging, and I don't want to say if there's going to be prizes or not, because it's still to
You probably already said too much then.
It's going to be
it's just a hearty handshake and a well done.
Well, that's what GW used to give us all these years. So
weirdly.
Actually, they're starting to sponsor GTs now. They're going to be Games Workshop approved GTs, so
that's cool.
They're dipping their toes.
Not cool at all. That's what we do.
Well, they could have it at the same time. I think it's actually only in the UK because I saw them in Valve saying like, I lived in the UK, I'd be all over that.
Well, it's not like they have room in the store. It's got to be like Warhammer World.
Yeah, God, no, right?
Like apparently that place is massive.
They might host them though at event centers. Might be that kind of thing, like venue.
It doesn't seem very GW of it.
No, but they are turning it over new leaves, so we can see
a new leaf. If you're from a Scandinavian country, yeah, was there a big shakeup? The not the CEO, but the old guy on the board.
Yeah,
sucked the life out of it.
Roger, man.
Somebody in the chat help me to donate. Kyle, you probably know. But so apparently that's a good thing. Seems like a good thing. Sounds like a good thing to me. Out with the old, in with the good.
Well, that was a mega sale.
Yeah. Well, look it up. Google it yourself. What are we doing? What are we doing? But I mean,
Primaris Marines. They're just trying to phase out the old Marines. You know what I mean?
That's what I think the plan is, and that's what all the chatter
obviously
is
that's
about.
what the plan is.
You know, you just can't, like, it's such a big line as is, all the way up through 7 editions, and it's just kind of like pull the carpet out from underneath. It wouldn't have been a good idea.
But what are they going to do now? Like in an edition, they're just going to retcon it and be like, oh yeah, all that Primaris crap never happened. These are just Marines now. Like, because for the Plague Marines are the same size, right?
Well, I don't think with the way that they've done the lore that they'll be able to get away with a total replacement.
Well, they made the 13th Black Crusade happen again. I mean, like, they don't give a shit, man. They're
guess
the
so.
Wild West in that writing
room. Supposed to be like created by Belisarius Call, and they weren't part of like the Horus Heresy and la-di-da-di-do, and everyone likes poop, and now like I'm looking at this and I go, there's no like seamless transition anymore.
No.
So I guess the future is untold, but it looked like I really think that's probably what the case is.
It just seems weird to me. It just seems like unnecessary. That's the thing that pisses me off. They could have just been like, these are the new Marine models, and I would have been like, cool. I would have bought them. But now that I can't even play them as just regular Marines, I have to play them as like this Primaris Marine, and they cost more, and like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just an old man, Dan.
You got any of them yet?
No. I went out and I bought Marines from the 1980s.
Sting it, man.
Well, I don't care for it.
That's true.
I don't know if you
played any games with the Rogue Trader stuff yet?
No, not yet.
Like
No. Yeah, like I said, I brought it and I slept too much.
Are you coming out tomorrow for
Yes.
City?
Yeah, I will bring my 2K. Calgar is not painted and he doesn't have an arm. But
yeah, I think I'm playing producer Scott with a 2K org list.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
See how it goes.
I know, like, Sid's really trying to get me onto Infinity, and I did buy an Infinity starter pack. I know I'm not really supposed to talk about that game, I guess. I don't know, but I'm pretty interested.
Not the theme of the show,
interested by it. Well, I mean, like, whatever. 40 below gaming. It's not like, I mean, we say it's a Warhammer podcast, and there's Warhammer crap on the screen, but. I mean, nobody told me I couldn't. Nobody told me I couldn't talk about it in Infinity.
But yeah, like certain people have in the community started dipping their toes into that, and you know, I'm not saying that that's the worst thing in the world. I hope that there won't be a mass exodus of people from 40K because obviously,
No. I'm not. Hey,
people aren't happy with.
I can do lots of stuff, Dan.
Oh, yeah, well-
you know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty of Infinity. Is it was just like I have to paint like 10 guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
that's true.
It's like saying you're not going to play 40K anymore because you have a Necromunda gang now. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not going away from 40K entirely. Just diversifying my bonds.
Have you played any games somewhat recently in 40K?
No. I mean, that's the bummer of it. I got this stuff. The last game I played, I think, was a doubles game with you. So that was like a while ago.
That's true.
And again, not that I didn't want to play, but work's been shitty. So sometimes you got to be a grown up if you want to buy plastic stuff. So, but I mean, I'm waiting for all the codexes to come out. I think because I was gonna buy a Krieg army. I've got it all ordered up on Forge World. I'd daily just refresh it, and then if I want to ever hit purchase, it's right there. But I feel like I'm going to do that, and then the codex is going to come out, and there was like something cool, or I guess for Krieg, there's no codex coming out, though. That's,
No,
Forge
Krieg
World.
has always been Forge World.
Yeah, so.
You can still play it with Imperial Guard rules if you want.
Right.
Or just guardsmen.
There could be something I don't know about.
Rules that I guess would align with that. There was a neat teaser video that came out on the topic of guardsmen recently. It was 9 seconds long. It was supposed to be like a transmission. Did you see that at all?
Yeah, it looks like a manhole cover.
Yes.
An Imperial manhole cover.
It's a very fancy, futuristic one.
Into where the Imperial poop goes.
One of the rumors that people were kind of generating around that video that I saw was that maybe Steel Legion are coming out with their own sort of rule set.
That would be cool. See, there you go. And that could be a whole reason, I mean, for me to not buy any Krieg models, because Steel
Run them as
Legion's
Steel Legion.
pretty similar.
There might be nicer looking models in that similar vein.
Yeah.
coming out.
Well, we got Kyle here commenting, Rory should play Necrons. He's the old man yelling at kids to get off his lawn. That aspect does appeal to me.
not sure if I understand the correlation.
Because, like, you know, they wake up and they're like, hey, the hell are you doing here on my lawn?
Oh.
Yeah, they're old.
Yes, and they live underground
You get jokes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Not every times.
Not every time, just as sometimes. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, I think that and the what's it called? Codexes.
Yeah.
When they start getting leaked out, it's a game changer, right? I'm actually even considering going.
Get leaks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the world leaders leaks that I'm getting, it's like, oh, okay, they were good with just the index, and then the crazy shit happened where people were like, I'm gonna play nothing but Storm Ravens.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck this list then, I guess.
Kyle and I were talking about that cheese on the last episode that we did.
Yeah.
But they're actually in. This should be a good shout out for Kyle. Another GT just finished, and the winning list came out, and guess what it was?
I don't know, Dan. Quit being so fucking cryptic.
Magnus and Friends.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah.
So
it's not just the Storm Raven spam that's taking down stuff now, and also like we talked about the Razorwing flock, but yeah, we've discussed all that stuff. Like the FAQs that keep coming out are so fast now to deal with, like these big glaring issues. That they're FAQing things that have already been FAQ'd. You know, they're like really dropping a lot of info on people right now.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Like, it's shitty that they have to do that, but it's good that they're doing it. So it's like you're kind of mad, but they're doing their best. You know, it's like your little kid in the kitchen trying to cook you up dinner, and he's setting the curtains on fire. But damn it, if he's not trying to make you a nice steak. You know, like you can't really get like I'm mad, but I'm not so mad that you know.
It's true. You know, it leaves.
Hey, look who showed up. I told you guys we had a guest today.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
It's Fabio. For those who don't know, he sells people. So he got enough money for all this stuff.
Scary, if you think about it.
Terrified. He threatens my family.
Yeah, we were talking about FAQs. So basically, like, at this point in time, some players are going to feel sketchy about, like, is it worth investing in 6 Storm Ravens, or should I be playing with all these Razorwing flocks?
Yeah.
So basically,
the answer is no. By the way, the answer is you're an asshole.
Not to cheese it. Like, if you think it's going to be cheese, it's probably going to get FAQ'd at some point in time.
Yeah.
So you might want to, you know, pump the brakes on that. That's why this Magnus and Friends list, it was good. Like, even though Magnus is nuts, it was good to see it though, because it had elements to it. It had like horrors. It had like a changeling. It had.
It's a list that someone took the time to write.
It wasn't just like here's a and like you know you just win.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, everybody, that's the other thing, too. People give me shit. They're like, well, but Rory, you used to spam jet bikes. And it's like, I spammed like 18 of them. My entire list wasn't just jet bikes.
And if you shot at 5 and killed 2 of them, odds are they ran off the table.
They sure did, Dan. So, I mean, well, until the Yanari stuff in the end came out. That was all right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that being said, it was not as broken as that. But if codexes do have like a power creep that is... I mean, I don't care if you make troops super OP. You know, do something where it's like, you know, oh, hey, that's, you know, a normal-looking list.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
You want people, like Kyle and I kind of talked about that on the last episode where we were talking about sort of, I suggested that taking a battalion was probably a really smart way, like a mandatory battalion to mitigate some of that damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think the battalion is a bit... I don't know, I think it kind of puts you in a box.
2 HQ, 3 troop?
Is that, or no, I'm thinking of brigade. Brigade is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I was like, that's not possible. Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine, because then I think it's...
3 troop, you're going to see that in most competitive.
And then it's 3-3-3 for everything else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's fine. I mean, the thing is, though, like, I made uncheesy lists that were fun that did make use of the, like, Outrider and, you know, all the other weird ones, whereas, like, okay, I'm bringing a lot of blood slaughters, but that's not like an insta loss for you, right? I'm not like just stacking multi-unit or
Oh, there are things that can deal with it, like I'm sure Magnus could take a good run at that.
He probably could, yeah. So, I mean, the growing pains, right? Like, what are you going to do about that? bear with them,
true,
I guess. And for me, I've just been hobbying. That's been my outlet. I'm concentrating on the hobby, trying to get an army that I like, that I don't care if it wins or loses, just to have.
You know what? Like, it's. I haven't had a lot of time recently with a number of things going on, but you know what? Like, I managed to get a little bit of hobby time in, and I actually brought something to show, a little show and tell, if you will.
What did you bring, Dan?
Well, guys, I've been working on a Chaos Land Raider that I started
Some Forge
on
Worldness.
a Chaos Proteus Land Raider sort of chassis. So I'm making this for my Death Guard. Maybe producer Josh want to get that closer.
You
to the
thought
camera.
what I was doing was so cool that you poorly ripped it off.
Yes, that's exactly it. So as you can see, we got some sweet claws on this here Land Raider, and little
I call him Mr.
horn
Krabs.
action. And
Horny crabs.
We got a little hatch there with some heavy bolters. Ooh, heavy bolt. They're so heavy.
Horny crabs.
It's falling right out. Little green stuff. Oh yeah, the lighting in here is just top notch.
It looks really good, Dan. Everyone likes how gray it is.
Yeah, everyone likes how great I am. It's the best part.
Yeah, that's not what I
still have
said.
to drill a lot of holes in it because it's got to be Death Guard and it looks too clean right now. But
That's what she said.
yes, yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's what she said. I can't really think of what that would apply to. Yeah.
Like a penis. Anyway, that's pretty
Drill
nice.
holes in yours?
I do.
That sucks. Hey, but if that's what you like, I can't tell you to change
You're
that.
damn right you can't. It's 2017.
Even though it's disgusting.
Yeah. So that being said,
Yes.
are we going to take a quick break? Or are we going to do the top 10? What do you feel like doing, Dan?
Yeah, why don't we take a quick 1 minute break and then, or 2 minute break, we'll come back to top 10.
And
Might even have a guest for you guys.
yeah, British West is here from across
British West
the pond.
dropped in. We got,
Okay,
all right, well, yeah.
maybe not. Maybe it'll
I
be an
already
over.
said it.
Can't unsay what's
We'll be
been
right
said.
back.
Goodbye for now.
Everyone saw you doing there.
Yeah. Oh, we just came to say hi.
Oh, so we can't.
Are you guys off the air?
I'm not sure. More guests.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. So, I made a mistake. Turns out British West was only here to say hi.
Yeah.
That's why we took a break, just to confirm these things.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
drunkenly spoke to him in the bar, and he said that he was going to do it, and he lied to me. And that is.
You know what else he told me when he was in the bar? He said, I can't actually fly a helicopter. This whole military thing is a fraud.
I heard that too. I'm enjoying this this venue for the fact that people just walk by and wave. I enjoy that. It's another aspect of the publicness.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so no Wes. Also, there are going to be some changes to the show, to the format. We can talk about.
Actually, maybe we should talk about
We should
that.
talk about that.
So, things are coming up. We're going to switch it up a bit. Essentially, we're adding 2 more regular hosts to the show.
2.
It's going to be Fabio and Kyle. And so we're going to alternate.
They're the robots.
Regular hosting duties. So we got Rory and myself this week. Next week will be Fabio and Kyle. Rory and I might be guests when they're doing a show.
Yeah.
Like one or the other, or even both.
It's fast and loose.
And then vice versa. If they want to come on when we're hosting as well, we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But basically, we're expanding the 40 Below family into the Dusty Auspex show in a bit of a bigger way.
Yeah.
Takes a little pressure off us to be here every week. And also, Kyle and Fabio are a great wealth of knowledge. Fabio's got all the tournament stuff down, and Kyle literally knows everything.
Robots, handsome, funny.
Yeah.
That's the 2 options you got. You got robots or handsome, funny. So some days you're going to get robots.
And we're going to talk probably more with a focus on like hobby and gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas those guys are going to talk about new rules, competitive rules, things like that. Elements that we also find interesting, but Kyle's out there grinding like almost every day. So
Kyle's on his A game as
he's got
far
a
as knowing
knowledge fountain.
Knowing what
built
he
into his brain.
drinketh from the knowledge fountain, while we merely
drinketh from the fountain.
we merely missed ourselves with whatever it doesn't make it into his mouth.
I'm really good at belching, farting.
You are really good at that.
Gurgle stuff.
That's a skill. Anyway, but yeah, so that's that. Also, there are some events coming up.
Yes, so August 20th, the one that we did mention earlier is there's going to be a 2v2 here at PvP Cyber Lounge. This event has already filled up into registration. However, it would be awesome if people just came out to check out the games.
Did everything fill up? Like, is Infinity
2v2
full?
I'm not sure about the other game systems, but
Okay.
the 40K 2v2 is definitely full.
Full.
AOS, I think only had 5 people register, and so it's just going to be more of like an open day from what I hear.
For AOS? That's
We'll see how that actually pans out.
fairly
but
typical.
40K, new edition, there's a lot of people coming back to the game. I can see why there's more interest.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people are thinking, hey, it's kind of the same system as AOS, so the models maybe are cooler because they have guns? I don't know.
I think that's why I play it.
Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
What do you
think
like
that
better, spears or guns?
guns are magic? You tell
I'll
us.
tell you what I'd take to a fight.
Gun magic.
Yeah. And then
Marry
also,
the 2.
Twin Eagles is getting closer. It's the Halloween weekend, and we're getting pretty dang close to that.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like we have 7 open for AOS. Thank you, Mr. Kyle.
No word on Infinity slots.
Always looking for more AOS players for this event. So if you know people that want to play or complain that they haven't had enough people to play, etc., definitely tell them to come check it out.
Yep. Call them little crybaby bitches.
Yeah.
Bring them on out.
Let them know what happens to the crybaby bitches.
Yep.
It's not good.
It's a bad time. I'll pee on you. Anyway.
So, back to gaming.
I won't pee on you. If you show up here, you could be assured I will not.
And even if it
on
does,
purpose.
there's a sink facing out into the main area, so you can get cleaned up pretty
You
quickly.
splash yourself right off.
And so, back to the gaming. Tomorrow night, we're going to Hidden City. I'm actually playing my Caligari Crusade game because I didn't make it out on Tuesday. It's a 1750. My Drakari are going to be playing against Chaos. I'm not really sure what this guy has because I've never played against him before. I believe his name is Logan.
Grimnar?
No, I have heard rumors though that he plays a lot of zombie stuff. So I'm playing kind of, I don't know, it's an interesting list. It's not like, it's not the whole party platter, but it's like a little taste of a lot of things.
Is it like Nurgle zombies? Like a lot of typhusness with
I think he plays Typhus with a bunch of Poxwalkers.
Right.
Or maybe just Cultists. I don't really know. I'm going to be bringing out some Blood Brides, which are like witches, but they get an extra attack.
Good for them.
In a Raider, I got Warriors in a Raider, Warriors and Venoms, 3 Talos, 2 Ravagers, and then I'm going to try Scourges with Dark Lances, which is interesting because now that heavy weapons fire with just -1 to hit, it's a lot better for them because Scourges always had Dark Lances. Even in like the 3rd edition original Dark Eldar drop, They were like metal models with dark lances. It didn't make any sense. But now,
That's why I like the old stuff.
well, back in the day, you just couldn't shoot it if you moved.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is worthless. Why do they have jetpacks? Why are you paying for jetpacks and a gun you can't shoot? If you're moving 12 inches, you want to do that every turn.
It didn't have to make sense. It was the 90s.
Yeah, back then, Backstreet Boys were on the radio.
And the Simpsons were still good. Anyway, right. So now they can do it.
Yeah, so now
they can move
use their
shoot.
deep strike ability. Well,
What's their BS? They hit on 3s or 2s?
they hit on 3 normally.
Okay, so
They're gonna hit on a
50%
4,
chance
yeah.
if you move. That's not terrible.
No, not at all.
As
And
a
they
dark
move
land, so you don't
crazy
have
fast.
to move either, right? I mean, as long as you put them in the middle or somewhere near.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. But they have wicked range. They have 36-inch range. You can just deep strike them in a safer spot now, and then still shoot the weapons without like snapshots.
Right.
That said, though, you know, my track record with playing 8th edition hasn't been wonderful, so I might show up to this battle and be like, yeah, this is gonna go great, and then just like this Logan dude might just like hand it to me. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I'm still learning. Like, it's a higher point 1v1 game, so I'm kind of happy to try that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've only been really playing a lot of 2v2s.
Well, the nice thing about it, well, it's not nice actually. I don't like this part about it, but the thing I find with this new system is if you're gonna lose, you start losing right away.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have closer games. I know Kyle, who's had way more playtime than I have, says he has closer games. I think he has a way more competitive list too, but that being said, it is possible. So I think maybe we're just kind of it's too preliminary. Nobody knows enough about the game to really have good back and forth at this point. But I know that personally, any game that I played, if you start losing, you start losing big, and if you start winning, you win big.
Well, it's kind of like I keep saying, you know, it's like what Kyle and I were talking about, because this is the conversation right now about 8th edition is how important is turn 1. Like, a lot of people are winning games because they went first.
Yeah, but then you got guys like Kyle saying that he usually goes second and wins.
Although he does play like Magnus and Friends, which arguably, like, you can dump a bunch of shots into Magnus, but like, let's be perfectly honest, he's re-rolling invols on 1. He's re-rolling.
Yeah. You gotta be.
He's just an overall incredibly strong, like, resilient unit.
You gotta be tough as nails. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
But he is killable. Like, he has played games where he's died. It's not that it's impossible. It's just that in this edition, you gotta really focus on Magnus because he's gonna mess your shit up.
Yeah, I mean, if I do end up playing Kyle, there will be every las cannon I own in that list, which is like 18 or 20 of them shooting at him first round. So potentially, if I get turn 1, I could kill him.
Looks like John, forgive me if I say it wrong, Tomeyer or Tomeyer.
Or Tomeyer.
That Logan was his partner round 1, really easygoing. Good to hear. I like chill, casual games.
Or Tom Mayer.
Oh, what if he's John Mayer, but he doesn't want people to know he's living in Winnipeg?
John 2 Mayer. Maybe it's like there's just like a John Mayer.
Look, we're not calling you a fraud.
John Mayer.
We're saying that you had a lot of successful albums, and you shouldn't be afraid to let the people of Winnipeg know that you're.
John Dan thinks your name is bullshit, and if you want to fight him, you come down to PvP and you prove that your name is not
no
fighting.
I just wanted to congratulate him on all his successful music.
John Demare is gonna come kick your ass, buddy. You shouldn't have talked so much shit.
I believe I did the opposite.
Anyway,
Look, Rory would like to fight John, is what he's trying to say. So, back to what we were talking about. Kyle says, no Magnus recently. Kyle, in the chat, let us know. What are you playing instead? Is it just the Lord of Change and the Demon Princes now? What's your problem?
yeah, Kyle, what kind of witchcraft are you running now?
Tell us about it. Oh, did you also see the GT stuff with the Magnus list? Let us know in the chat, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm
actually,
assuming
we'll talk about that next week.
that's what next week's podcast is going to be heavily about. So if you haven't figured it out by now, our portion of the podcast is bullshit.
Well, you know,
it
it's not
is
so much
useless
bullshit, it's
crap.
we haven't had much of a chance to do a ton of the hobby in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
so we're not out of things to say. It's just
No.
that it's been about 2 weeks.
I'll
since
talk
either of
forever.
us
I'll
really-
filibuster on this edition right now. How many
Well, we
bananas
don't
are in
need
it?
to-
How many bananas can you eat while you're
don't need to
playing?
complain
How many
about it.
bananas have you eaten recently?
One rumor that came up that actually Kyle was
A witch?
discussing with Scott in the group chat there was how there are certain players that are trying to advocate for like reserve rules, like blanket reserve rules.
Yeah.
Oh, like even though it doesn't have deep strike, I just keep my shit in reserve and it comes in whenever. Blah blah blah. There is literally nowhere in the book that says that you can do that.
No, and that's the whole thing. There are no
It's crazy.
universal rules anymore. If your data slate doesn't say you can do it, you can't do it. Like that was the beauty.
Why would
That's actually
every
one of the
unit have their own named version of it if there weren't?
things I'm bummed they got rid of. Firing arcs
Yeah,
and
that's-
a
yeah.
decent cover system. Things I don't care about are.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should talk about the cover stuff.
and that was kind of what I'd planned for the latter half of the show. So don't rush me, okay?
Yeah,
Don't
you know what? I
push me into a place that I don't want to be.
Don't believe that.
I'm
but
comfortable.
I think this is just a convenient spot for you to grandstand.
Yeah, a little bit. But that being said, the things I don't think they needed to change are the massive amount of universal rules and the fact that I needed a separate app to keep things straight until I figured it out, which was years.
Yeah, to be honest, 7th edition had
It did.
a ton of special rules. And you know what? That was almost part of its charm. You knew there was a section in the book where all the named shit lived and you could just look it up.
Although it was like,
There was
whatever.
tons of it.
It's a
though.
GW
Like, there
book
was
though,
so much of it.
It's hard to find.
But that's not the case anymore, and that was a big part of the stuff they were trying to weed out in this edition. But you know what? Like, I think one of the biggest things that they changed that has been nothing but problems is cover.
Yeah, and I don't.
Cover is in some of the most confusing, like from a game design perspective. You're looking at this and you go, it's a hill. There's a thing behind it. I can see the tail. Well, hills don't give you any cover. Like it may as well not even. There may as well not even be a hill there.
I think that now there's especially in the kind of tables that we play on, where there's a lot of third-party stuff on it. There's a conversation that needed to happen before, but it definitely needs to happen now. Like for example, the last game we played, we were using like that third-party kind of Eldari Necroni walkway, and we had called it Ruins for the sake of cover. And then I went to go march a Bloodslaughterer up, and it was like, hey, wait a minute. This massive, easily inclined staircase is unscalable by your robots because they are walkers.
Yeah.
And I mean, we figured it out. It wasn't like, well, the game is over, but
Well, we decided to revert it back to
just being, yeah, but it was
or what was it?
not battlements,
Because
but
walkers fall through ruins. That's what happens then. So walkers can only stay on the
main floor, right? But I mean, it was in this situation, it didn't make any damn sense because like
Yeah.
it was a clearly scalable. So you have to be a grown up.
Also, you know what they're doing now too? ITC just came out with this, and I correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but at the meeting we were talking about it. The first
Yeah,
level
correct
of
him if
ruins
he's wrong,
count
Kyle.
as line of sight blocking terrain, no matter what they look like. First floor of ruins blocks all line of sight.
See, I missed that part. That's cool though.
Now
I mean,
that's because there was such a struggle for actual terrain.
Yeah.
Because now a cover save is kind of shitty. A cover save
You
is
need-
just
you
+1.
need
and so if
line
a
of
high-powered
sight.
weapon's hitting you,
doesn't matter.
who really gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're
blocking
rolling
in-
sixes
like
most
now
likely.
you need big pieces of terrain and not as many of them.
Or more of them, I'd say.
Well, if you play with too much, then no one's really going to be able to shoot at each other. But you don't want to play with
That's fine.
forests where you can see through.
Punch them like men.
Because the table's either going to be filled with giant terrain that blocks line of sight, or you're just going to shoot at everything from the get-go.
I mean, I've always been a fan of Cityscape, though. That's always been my favorite thing. So if you had, like, block type buildings, that maybe were solid, or you say that the windows on the first floor just can't be shot at. I mean, again, this is kind of like
And now
up to
the whole
you.
squad has to get into those ruins.
Well, that was a kind of a misconception, I thought. Like, as long as the squad is 50% covered, the entire squad has to be 50% covered. Not just 50% of the squad. But if your entire, let's say you got a 5-man crew, and they're behind something where you can only see the upper half of their body, they don't have to be on that terrain, but they're still 50%
it's
obscured.
only certain types of terrain. It's like ruins.
No,
and,
yeah, okay.
Trenches, I think.
Right, I'm talking about. Whenever I talk about terrain, I'm usually talking about ruins exclusively.
Yeah,
That's
but
usually
the whole
only.
squad has to go in the building.
No, as long as it was okay. So vehicles have to be 50% obscure. They don't benefit from being on it, but guys can either all have a toe in and be on it.
Oh, yeah,
Kyle,
on-
correct me
yeah,
if I'm
sorry.
wrong.
In is the wrong word I'm using, yeah.
Or if they're behind it it and they're 50% obscured, like every model has less than 50 or 50%.
Double check the second.
Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong if you're still watching, but I'm pretty sure
towing still counts, but it has to be the whole squad.
Yeah, but I'm saying too that I'm pretty sure if the entire squad is 50% obscured, they too benefit from cover. Like if you've got a building in between you and whatever's shooting at you, you get the benefit of cover.
It's so like regimented and crappy now, and like it seems almost counterintuitive.
I should have brought a rule book. We could have had a fun little debate here.
It's one of those things that the game has changed so much in a different direction in that respect, where like literally every piece of terrain is named and has an entry, or it just isn't terrain.
Yeah, no, I'm saying silly. Ruins though specifically. I'm pretty sure if a unit is 50% obscured by it or in it, if it's infantry, they get a bonus, and if it's a vehicle, they have to be 50% obscured.
The 50% thing is just vehicles, but someone in the chat let us know. Kyle, I'm looking at you.
Come at me.
I think naming terrain was a big mistake. I think keeping terrain and visibility in percentages was the smartest way that they could have ever.
Yeah, because then it didn't matter, right? You didn't like. I think that what they did was they made arguments with everything else less of a thing, and then made arguments about terrain way more of a problem.
If you're a dude peeking his head up behind something, you should have the benefit of the doubt where, like, potentially this bullet might ricochet off of the terrain and that. Actually, Producer Squad, though. Producer Squad. Whole squad have to be 50% obscured.
Yeah, see, so they can be just obscured by it. They can either be on it, every model on it,
has to either be
or 50% of this. But okay, here's the clarification though. I thought it was every model has to be 50% obscured, not just half of the unit.
Yeah, it's just whole squad.
Whole squad. Yeah, okay. So there are two stipulations.
Yeah, so
I'm holding up 4 fingers.
You can use runes in two different ways: touching it or behind it.
You were wrong though. I mean, that's the important part. I was right.
That's fine.
And totally fine. You were wrong.
I think though that the big mistake was doing that, and then also that kind of goes hand in hand with the firing arcs thing, where like if you have a vehicle that's like tipping out from a building and it's kind of bringing like its turret over to shoot something, that used to be considered strategic play. Now, if you're not 50% obscured in ruins, it doesn't really matter where you're facing or like how much you come out and shoot, or like if the ass of your vehicle's shooting, you can shoot all your guns at the ass.
I mean,
like,
there's
the tread can see and shoot out. Like it's so stupid.
There's two elements that I don't like from it. One, it makes it incredibly easy to play with vehicles in a way that I know they were trying to speed the game up, but it took away what becomes my second issue is the cinematic element of it, where I had to look at where the gun was. I had to worry, because I mean they took the sides of the vehicles away, which I mean I kind of always thought it was cool that you had to hide your ass. I mean that made sense to me. I'm fine, like whatever. They changed the whole way that everything works as a toughness value now. I think they maybe could have been like, hey, -1 to toughness if you're shooting it in the ass.
I like the idea of the strength and toughness, but it feels like certain elements have been really strategy's been taken out. With those two things,
it's like it went from being more of like an art, like I don't know, it's like an arcade game kind of now. You know what I mean? It's very it's fast, it's colorful, the kids love it.
Because the community is saying this, at large, worldwide, people are complaining about all these things. Chapter approved coming out at the end of the year. It'd be really, really cool to see if they have a revised competitive section. Because obviously for match play, we're talking about people who want to make competitive lists and play with strategy. It'd be really cool to see if Chapter approved addressed some of these problems.
Well, and the weird thing to me too is that they made a point to separate it and be like, this is basic play, this is narrative. Excuse me. Oh, now I got like a pepper in my nose or something's going to happen for the rest of the episode. Anyway, but then their match play rules, they didn't really make them any more complicated. Like the gameplay itself was still the same. Like why not make there a complicated version? That was a terrible sentence, but make a complicated version. Like people obviously still want this. You took all this time, you wrote all these different versions of it. Like,
Well, you know what,
just
that's what
add in some
In
crap.
Chapter Approved, I'd like to see new cover rules for match play.
Yeah.
I'd like to see firing arcs.
They're too basic,
um,
and that's my opinion as an old fuddy-duddy nerd, I guess. I don't know, man, but like it's just
And they might still put out like a general's handbook that's
Yeah.
strictly for match play. It has all the nuance that we're missing. It might, like, I don't think they'll ever have as many named special rules as 7th edition had.
no, and that's fine.
But, yeah.
You don't need the special
I think
rules.
they're
That's
gonna
not it.
Probably make some changes there too. Also, if you think about it, when they talk about this being the last edition, like, oh, it's always going to be changing and growing and blah blah blah. Kind of a big risk to take.
I don't like that.
changing the entire game
And then
from
saying
what it's
that
been known as.
this is what we're keeping it as.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know
Right
if
off
you're
the
right.
hop. So that's why I think there's going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah.
There's going to be tons, because if this is going to be the final edition, they're going to be FAQing stuff as soon as it comes out for months and months and months until they find a groove.
Well, even AOS is just getting like a new General's Handbook too, and they had a really cool ad for it too.
fantastic,
It was a
yeah.
sweet ad. So I mean, and I'm fine with that. I mean, I guess it'll just be like General's Handbook edition or version 1, and now we're on version 2. Like, you know, instead of a whole edition, now we're just getting these tweaks, which I'm fine with. This is good. Hopefully they listen, and hopefully they can kind of keep everybody happy. Like, I realize that's difficult
And,
to
like,
do, but
I think a lot of us are scared too because it's so new, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like, we're not used to Games Workshop doing all this kind of stuff all
Yeah.
at once, and FAQing it and paying attention. We're used to just like, here's a book. That's it for the next 3 years.
I'm a white guy afraid of change. Yeah, no, 100%, man. I get that.
So, due to some technical difficulties we've had, we're doing our top 10 off our phones again. So, this week's top 10, Rory came up with a theme. Or no, I came up with a theme.
Yeah, don't put this on
Rory,
me.
wrote 66% of them.
Good math.
No, technically 60. That wasn't 60.
Yeah, why would it be 66? It's divisible. Anyway,
Well, you said good math, so
was making fun of you.
you should eat a shit.
I was making fun of you.
Just one.
Okay,
Like a Babe Ruth, like the Babe Ruth from Caddyshack.
okay.
So, right, guys, it's a chocolate bar.
All right,
so-
Dan, you start us off then.
Yeah, so these are the top 10 reasons to resist Primaris Marines. A little bit of theme from the earlier portion of the show. Number 10, because tall men are always trying to move in on an already good thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep,
To steal your girl, Primaris Marine.
Oh, well, that's no one likes that.
I think the next one, then you're the last
Yeah, so we're
6, right?
yeah. Okay,
So
you
number
do
9, historically, shooting 2 handguns at the same time isn't terribly accurate. That seems to be a real specialty of these
it.
guys.
Unless you're playing Counter-Strike 1.6, actually, in that case, it's still
Dualies are all,
inaccurate.
yeah, dualies weren't great. You wanted the Deagle or the Glock, in my opinion. Some people love the USB. USB can.
The USB was all right sometimes.
I miss the USB and Go, but anyway, number 8. What will you tell your regular Marines when they look you in the face?
Why have you forsaken us?
Why are you so much shorter and less desirable?
Papa, why?
And number 7, because I don't trust anyone who didn't live through the Horus Heresy.
That's true. Johnny come lately.
Yeah.
Gross.
What have you done? What do you come on?
All right. Woo. Number 6, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6. They're too leggy, and it's too sexy. There, I said it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Starts with dancing.
Keep awkward boners at a minimum.
Then it turns into lovemaking.
Yep. Number 5. None of them can drive a Honda.
Yeah, that's on my list of reasons.
Right? I mean, let's just be honest. It's a very affordable mode of transportation that a lot of people have.
We drove one here.
We did, and we both fit in it because neither of us are 9 feet tall. Number 4. They can be defeated by making doors slightly smaller.
Yes.
Can't get in the building. The door was too tiny.
Although I think their heads would be strong enough to just kind of like
Just
plow through
like
the
not
door.
even hard. Like just meet the surface and then push through it,
Yeah, just
cranking through it. Okay. Number 3.
number 3.
Number 3. They don't understand the rejection of not being allowed on a roller coaster, which just makes them assholes. Right? They always got to
Yeah,
ride.
that's on my list.
They always got to ride. Number 2, they could be at any point drafted by the NBA.
Oh.
So,
And then you spent all that money on them?
yeah. You put them through college, and then all of a sudden they're a big superstar, and they forget that you used to make them craft dinner on the weekends and watch them cry. That never happened to me.
Sounds pretty sad.
And number one, they will get tired of being asked how the weather is up there by normal Marines.
Ah, clever.
Hey, you like that?
And since this is an orc
I wrote it at the.
just kill another Marine for asking you that.
That's true. I wrote that at the bar, right behind you there,
Nice.
where they have fantastic drinks, as I mentioned before.
Give you an idea of how much prep went into this top 10 this week.
I care about this show on a level that I care only second to my own personal hygiene, which is I smell like
At
I
best.
smell like shit right now. Smell bad.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention before we start wrapping stuff up?
You're a loser,
Okay, well, that was unexpected.
and I don't like ya.
Well, someone's not getting any Burger King after this.
Well, that's. Is it you? Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that that was fun, the new venue is nice. We're only going to get more prepared.
I can't wait to play with my orcs tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, if you're free, come down to Hidden City. Why not?
We'll be there playing games tomorrow night.
The more demand we can get
714
down there,
Watt Street.
we're gonna get more tables. It's gonna become more of a 40K venue. You can come play Magic the Gathering
Yeah,
too
you
if
know,
you're
they
so
play
inclined.
Magic there now, but there's not a ton of players as it stands. So let's show some 40K support. And
Yeah.
come on in. Make it
Push those nerds out of their home and make it our home now. Hidden City
Forest
Comics,
Fires, remove wildlife.
great sponsor, PvP games here.
Yes.
Great venue.
Shut up.
It's PvP Cyber Lounge,
Josh,
pardon
do you
me.
know the address of PvP? Is it possible we could grab that? Yeah, PvP Cyber Lounge. Once again, they've got VR consoles.
It's right next to
They
the
have
spot on
billiard
Pembina.
tables, a huge LAN center. Like behind us, you can actually kind of see the tips of it.
Yeah, there's like
$27.95 Pembina Highway.
$27.95 Pembina Highway. Bring your friends.
This is a bank of LAN computers.
Yep, you can see them there. That's play your CS, play your Dota, play your League of Legends,
Another
play your
one over
whatever,
there.
play your Overwatch. So that being said, come out this weekend, be a nerd with us, join us.
There's about 30 computers here that you can LAN on in banks of 5. It's pretty sweet. Honestly.
We will be broadcasting
Awesome bar.
next week. Kyle and Fabio will be hosting for sure. Maybe we'll drop by as well.
Maybe.
That's an option we have now, which is great.
Yeah.
So same bad time, same bad channel. And without further ado,
If you're
you're not having fun, you're cheating.
Goodbye.
Don't ask me for any money.
Help, I'm a slave.
We still on?
Still updating. It's all good.
Paused out? All right, we're paused out. There we go.